Hi everyone, my name is Steve. Today we're going to have a very special topic. It's from one of the career workshops that we have at our church. One is given by Paul Huang, which is a very senior engineering leader. He currently works at SurveyMonkey. We had this session on the Sunday afternoon after our church service. It was very fruitful, but we didn't get a chance to video record it. So after getting permission from Paul, I'd like to make this one a YouTube video so that everybody else online could get access to this great session. Thank you very much. All credit goes to Paul. With that said, let's dive in. First, what's the agenda? The agenda for today's session is divided into 4 parts. Number 1 is 2020 job search strategies. Number 2 is interviews do's and don'ts, very critical. Number 3 is when we go into offer step, how do you negotiate offers with your recruiters. Number 4 is career advancement tips. So once you land a dream job, once you started working in your position, how do you advance your career? That's the main 4 topics that we're going to discuss today. First, for the 2020 job search strategies, we need to have a correct mindset. The most important mindset right now is to have a growth mindset. People believe that their most basic abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work. Actually, that's very important. Instead of thinking everything is stagnant, you need to develop a growth mindset. Most skills, especially like programming skills, they can be developed later on. Even if you graduate with a completely irrelevant degree, like say biology or microbiology or finance, as long as you have a growth mindset, you believe that you can tackle technical problems, you can get into software engineering, then you're good. Nothing can stop a winning heart. This view creates a love of learning and a resilience that is essential for great accomplishment, which applies to everything in life. Perfect vision, perfect ear. This is from our pastor Chen, and also from another pastor. Believe big, receive big. So just think big. If you can land a great offer from the top tier tech companies, then you can. After you set a big goal, lay out a great detailed plan and execute it day by day, and then you can advance your career. Here's the book that Paul highly recommended, which is written by Carol Dweck, Mindset. This is the new psychology of success. Just to train your mind to be successful. Don't hesitate, don't limit yourself. Then goals and plans. Our goal is simply to land a new job. If you're still in school, you're graduating soon, or you are already working full-time, or you want to move on to a different company, our goal is to land a job. That's the whole goal of this session. There are different ways to sort companies into different buckets. One criteria is whether this one is a public company or a startup. Public company means it's publicly listed at New York Stock Exchange or whatever. Their stocks could be publicly traded. A startup means they are still privately held, right? Their stocks or equities cannot be publicly exchanged. Of course, for public companies, usually the size of public companies is a little bit larger and their compensation and organization structure is kind of more established. Versus startups is kind of a very lean organization structure. Everything could relatively move a little bit faster. They have their pros and cons in each type of company. Or another kind of fashionable way to describe is fan versus non-fan. Fan stands for Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, and Google. So these 5, some people include Microsoft and LinkedIn as well. These companies are considered the top tier tech companies. So these companies are arguably considered the top tier tech companies since they provide very good employee training, very competitive total compensation, and very clear career development paths. Second is preparation for interviews. You have to be prepared. There is no denying that you have to be prepared before you show up for the interviews in order to be successful. LeetCode for software engineer interviews. This is the site that you need to bookmark. You need to make it your homepage. If you want to crack the coding interviews, LeetCode is the best site. It's lively community. Everybody writes code, discusses which algorithm is better, which data structure, which combination is better daily on LeetCode. So you'll find a very lively community over there. You'll learn from your fellow LeetCoders and then polish your resume. You can even have different versions if you want to tailor your resume to different companies. For example, if you apply to SurveyMonkey, you might apply, have one bulleted point saying you might have some relevant experiences related to SurveyMonkey. Job opportunities. There are multiple ways to find a great job opportunity. Right now, we're talking about interview opportunity. Number one is referral. So if you know someone, say, if you know your classmates or your classmates' friends, your friends' friends who works at Google, at Facebook, ask them for referral. This is the most valuable way to get an interview because, say, Google or Facebook, they get thousands of resumes every single day for one single opening. How can you make sure that your resume get into the eyes of the recruiters, the first tier recruiters that do the screening job? Referral is the most effective way. For example, if you know somebody who works at Google, who works at Facebook, you ask them to submit a referral of your resume to their internal system. The chances of your resume getting spotted by the first tier recruiter are much higher than you just submit online by yourself because they trust their internal employees, because they know their internal employees. If their internal employees submit a referral, then they know, oh, this might be of a very high quality lead. Second one is that you can use LinkedIn. No doubt, LinkedIn is the most dominant recruiting hiring platform. You can find a lot of recruiters, a lot of job opportunities on LinkedIn, and then you can just reach out to different recruiters or even hiring managers on LinkedIn. Third is Headhunter, which is less used way, but still people use that, called different recruiting agencies. They might reach out to you and then you can work out with them to find a job. Land your dream job, polish your resume, and aim at your target. Interview do's and don'ts. Do's before the interview. What do you need to do? Do some research on the company. Say you are about to interview with Twitter. Play around with their product, on their website, on their mobile client. Try to send a tweet. Try to retweet something. Try to leave a comment. Spot anything. Observe everything very closely and carefully. Try to come up with a topic to discuss during your interview. And then check the company's website. Try their products. Who are their competitors? Prepare some questions to ask while you're trying to use their product. Think about some of the questions that you can ask during the interview. Let the interviewers feel that you are really engaged with their products. You really care. You can check the interviewer's profile. These days, when the recruiter organizes a panel of interviewers on your on-site interview day, they usually send out a list of interviewers for you on that day, 4 or 5 or 6 people. And usually they put a LinkedIn link in that email. Have a detailed read of the interviewer's LinkedIn profile. Understand their experiences and expertise. Try to come up with some questions. For example, if one of the interviewers has a PhD in database or graphical database or spatial database, try to come up with a tailored question to ask this specific interviewer. They'll be very impressed and very happy to discuss in depth with you on their favorite topic. You want to prepare some questions to ask for the company, whether it's company related or their specific team related. LinkedIn is a great platform. Other do's. Make sure that you arrive at least 30 minutes earlier to pray and to relax. Make sure you do that because you don't know on that interview day what's going to happen. You might get stuck in the traffic. So just plan ahead of time. Have extra 30 minutes. You can arrive there early. Stay calm, take it easy, relax, and pray. Don't be late and rushed, which is a very bad sign if you're late on the day for your interview. A firm handshake with eye contact and smile. First impression is very important. Make sure that you handshake with the interviewer with very good, strong eye contact and smile. Ask questions to clarify if the question is unclear. Just make sure that you completely understand whatever the interviewer is trying to ask before you can jump to answer, right? Make sure that you understand. Also, you want to think out loud. Make sure that you are communicating your thought processes out loud with the interviewer. This brings a lot of benefits. For example, you can make sure that what you are thinking, the path that you are going down to solve this problem is in line with what your interviewer was expecting, which also means if you are not, then the interviewer could give you a hint, could drive you to the correct direction, which is also a very good channel to show your communication skills. Other do's, show your confidence and smile always. Just keep smiling. You shouldn't stop smiling during the entire interview process. Make sure that you are connected. You're really connected with your interviewer. Make sure that you are dressed well. Your smile should be full of confidence. Make sure you're shaved. Now let's talk about don'ts at interviews. Never complain about your current or past employers or managers. Just don't do this. The world is very small. Nobody wants to hear complaints from their past or your current managers for the very simple reason. People might think, oh, if you're complaining about your current or your past managers, what if you go one day from me to other prospective employers, you might complain about me. Just don't badmouth people. There is nothing needs to be complained about. Just work things out. Stop complaining. Don't interrupt interviewers before they finish their sentences. Make sure that you let your interviewer finish their whole statement before you can start answering or start asking for clarifications. Don't say anything if you are not 100% sure. Ask for clarification. Don't get upset if you don't know the answer or get stuck. That's totally fine. Nobody knows everything before they walk into interviews. The best interview is something that both the candidate and the interviewer could learn something from each other after they walk out of the interview room. Then if you get a great offer, that's awesome. Congratulations. Then it comes to the salary. How can you negotiate great salary so that you feel very happy when you move on from your current job to a new position, to a new company? Number one question. This question often gets asked even before you started your phone screen or your on-site, which is often asked by the first tier recruiter when you pick up the call from the recruiter. What is your salary expectation? The recruiter often asks. How do you answer that? The best strategy is to delay the answering as long as possible. The art of the deal is whoever gives a number first loses. That's the truth. So trying to delay answering as long as possible, because it totally depends on, number one factor is it depends on how well you performed during the entire phone screen on-site. If you didn't do very well, there is no saying about anything, right? You might not get an offer, so don't worry about offer negotiation. So if you did extremely well, then you have more leverage to negotiate your total compensation. Try to delay answering as long as possible. You can say things like, I'm more interested in finding a position that's a good fit for my skills. I'm confident that you're offering a salary that's competitive in current market. That's a great way of getting back to the recruiter. And also you can ask for their salary range. Then you just make a note of it. What is the salary range for the position I'm interviewing for? Typical question. And then you can do some research on Glassdoor or salary.com. Find the salary range yourself. Like say, for example, well, according to my research and past experience, my understanding is that XXX, YYY, K per year is typical based on the role and requirements. Remember, almost all offers are negotiable. Not only job offers, like say, if you want to buy or sell a house, you put up an offer to the seller, right? Almost all offers are negotiable. An offer usually consists of salary, the base salary, stocks, bonus, their annual bonus or signing bonus, different types of bonuses. How do you negotiate after you get an offer? First, you want to stay very positive. You want to keep praising the company, right? Which is true, right? That's the whole reason why you spend your time interviewing with them. And then you ask to bump up the numbers. For example, say, hi, Adam, which is the recruiter. Thanks for sending over the info. I'm very excited about the potential to join the team. I'm very close to making it official. This comp package is definitely compelling, but if we can bump it up to XXK, YYK, RSUs, plus ZZK signing bonus, then that would be likely to seal the deal so I can move on to figuring out my start date. This is a very great response to the recruiter. Thanks again for the quick turnaround on getting back. Then let's talk about the last topic, which is how do you advance your career when you really started working in the corporate environment? Performance is the key. Your attitude determines your altitude. You need to put a very correct attitude. It's not about your schools. You can graduate from Harvard or MIT or Stanford, but still you need to perform well in your role, right? It's not about schools, skills, or experiences, right? You still need to perform. That's the whole reason why the company hires you, right? Be the key person, right? Try to be the key person. What is a key person? A very simple definition is that your manager gets nervous when you are on vacation because only you know things that are very key to the organization or to your team's day-to-day, daily operation. That's not easy. It's not easy to get there, but you'll learn. Your attitude determines your altitude. Try to learn as fast as you can and be friendly with your coworkers, your managers. Try to one day become the key person and ask your manager what you need to do to get promoted to the next level every quarter. Something that I really like that Paul suggested, try to communicate, show your eagerness to be promoted to your direct manager. Ask for feedback. Feedback, as one of my previous managers said, feedback is a gift. You need to treasure your feedback. Don't take constructive feedback as something that wow, he or she doesn't really like me. Don't think that way. Feedback is a gift. It's something that you can take in and try to improve on. So ask for feedback. Tell your manager that you want a promotion at the yearly review. A lot of people in corporate environment, they don't even want to be promoted, right? Not everybody wants to be promoted. So you need to show your manager that you want to be promoted if you want to advance your career. And then how do you have a high performance? 3 tips: disciplined, proactive, and extra mile. Discipline, number 1. Of course, you need to spend 8 hours every single workday. There's no doubt on that. On top of that, if you have extra time, especially new graduates who don't have any family obligations or other things to do, just spend maybe a couple hours more onto your work, then you'll see the return in the long run. Get it done on time with high quality. Make sure that you do your things. You write your code, you write your program with high quality, with unit test, integration test, penetration test, whatever. Test your code, fully test your code. Don't let the QAs catch the bug. That would be embarrassing. And be accountable. Discipline. Discipline is the difference between good and great. So make sure that you are very well disciplined. Make sure that's part of your habit. Proactive. Communication with your managers, both your managers and peers. Let your manager know that what you have accomplished. Today, yesterday, we have daily stand-ups, right? Communicate out loud clearly with your managers and peers. Make sure that they hear you if you are faced your encounter with any issues or any roadblocks. Finding and resolving issues. Don't just report issues. Try to find a resolution. It's good that you report an issue, but it's even better that if you can come up with a solution to solve the issue that you found. People like problem solvers. Last tip for how to have a high performance is go the extra mile. Look out for additional tasks if you can. This is absolutely a bonus. If you can perform 8 hours per day very effectively, then still you have extra time. You don't have any family or friends obligations. Look out for additional tasks. Try to earn the trust from your coworkers, from your managers, from your peers ASAP. Find new tasks for yourself. For example, try to pick up something new. Try to learn Linux, Angular if you are a backend developer. Try to learn AWS or Google or Microsoft Azure, right? Try to learn something new. Build up your skills. Talk to people. This is something that I'd like to emphasize a bit more. Talk to people, especially more senior engineers, more senior people who have been working like 5 or 10 years more than you if you're a new grad or if you've just joined the workforce for the past 3 or 5 years. Try to talk to people who are more senior than you because they have learned, they have walked through the road that you are just about to step on. Learn from them and let them know you. Build the connection. Third, to help people, always ask how I can help you. This is a great way to also improve yourself, let other people know you, and also to provide value. Ask questions. Show your curiosity and eagerness to learn. Nobody doesn't like a fresh new grad who's eager to learn. Be willing to improve. Make sure that you have an open-minded heart, that you're willing to improve. Nobody is perfect. Nobody knows everything before they started working, right? But as long as you have a willing heart to improve, to be open-minded, to work on things, to learn things that you've never touched before, that's totally fine. Welcome feedbacks. Again, feedback is a gift. Speak up in meetings. You need to really show your engagement and contribution during the meeting, even if this meeting has nothing to do with whatever you are doing, right? Show your engagement. Show people that you really care about our company, about our team's services, about our team's UI, about our team's product. Other people will engage and contribute to whatever things that you are working on. All right. That's the end of this session. I hope I have conveyed things clearly based on my memory from the session that I attended that Paul had given us. I really appreciate Paul. I've learned a ton from his session. I hope you guys could learn something from this video. See you guys in the next one.